Hey there, Joel here, and welcome to this online class. Today, we are going to learn a new chapter that is in science of class 7, and that is physical and chemical changes. Is that fan creating a problem for you? Okay. Till I roll this intro, let me put this thing off. Okay? And be ready. So before I explain to you about this entire chapter, let us first understand what do we mean by the word physical and what is the meaning of chemical. Say for example, I am trying to lift this desk that is over here, okay, and I'm trying and I'm not able to do it. So what will someone who is looking at me say? Sir, you are physically weak, that's the reason you can't lift it, okay. Or maybe you must have gone out to play, and then in the hot sun, and then you're tanned completely, so you become a little darkish in color. And what do people say? Oh, to ki to kaad hai zala. Okay. How is this thing noticed? It is noticed based on what you see, right? So whenever we talk about physical change or physical properties rather, we are looking in terms of the five senses that we have. And which are the five senses? The sense of seeing, that is looking, hearing, tasting, touching, okay, and smelling. So based on these senses, we put across physical properties. So anything that you are commenting based on all these five senses, or maybe one or two, that will be a physical change. For example, say in the morning, your mother kept a glass of milk outside, and for breakfast you forgot to have it, and it was there lying now. And then in the afternoon, once you're back from whatever you were doing, you try and say I'll just drink it and then finish it off instead of wasting it. So you go to sip it, and then you realize that it is not tasting how normally milk would taste. That is a physical change, what it was earlier and what it has become now. Or maybe there was something, whenever you were passing by and then you saw one dog is dead. Initially it would not matter to you, but later on in few days time, there is that rotting that is taking place. But initially when you look at it, it is smelling, right? So there is a physical change. The structure, the entire dog, which was there, is deteriorating. But there is a slight difference in this case, that it also becomes a chemical change. Why chemical change? We'll try and understand in this course of video, but look at it in a very simplest form. A piece of paper, and what I do is I crumble this down. Okay. Now this paper is paper itself. Nothing major thing has changed over here, but it is all crumpled paper, right? So there is a physical change. Initially it was nice and crisp and proper. Now it has crumbled entirely. So physical changes or physical properties are nothing but things that you can notice with your eye, just by seeing it, by tasting it, by smelling it, okay, or even by touching. Okay, so these are physical properties. Physical properties lead to a physical change. If I have an ice cube and I keep it outside, that ice will melt and become water back again. So it was solid initially, now it has become a liquid. So there is a physical property, that the change that has taken is physically. From solid it has become liquid. Is something else happened to that entire ice? No, it has just converted itself from solid state to liquid state. So let us take the same example again. In this case, I have this paper and okay, now I've just burnt it a little bit, I don't want to burn it more. But look over here what has happened. This part of the paper is burnt, right? So when I am talking about a chemical change, this change is permanent. I can't do anything to it. In the previous case of the ice that I was talking about, if I would take that water, freeze it back again in the fridge, it would become ice back again, right? So it's a physical change. Nothing has happened to water. But in this case, when I'm talking about this paper, the change is not replaceable. I can't go back to the initial form, right? Even when I took the paper earlier and I crumbled it, I just changed it physically. Nothing much had happened to it. But when I burn this, can I unburn the paper? Unburn. Not a right word. But can I come back to this white color paper after it is burnt completely? I cannot. So that becomes a chemical change. So in this entire chapter, chemical change we are going to learn, but not at very advanced level. Those are things that you will study probably in your 9th and 8th, 9th, 10th, those classes. Okay? What is chemical change dependent on? It depends on toxicity, which means how poisonous it gets. It depends also on stability, whether it will be able to, and I know these words, all this ability will become a little bit too complex to you, but I'm just telling you that it does, chemical change depends on that. So let us not concentrate on all these high terms, but understand in the basic language what exactly is what we are going to learn. Physical change and chemical changes. These are two aspects, and you should be able to easily tell what is a physical change, what is a chemical change. So physical change is nothing but a change that occurs when you apply either of your 5 senses to identify the difference, and chemical change is when, yes, you are using your 5 senses, plus another point to keep in mind is I can't get back to its original form. That is the most important thing. That will make it a chemical change. An example about that rotting of the dog which I was giving. Can that dog be in its proper, how it was initially when it died? I cannot get that. It's once it is completely, deteriorated, rot completely, and the worms have eaten it up. It is a complete chemical change. I can't come back to its original way, right? So that becomes a chemical change. But to look at the smell, what I was talking about, is a kind of an understanding for a physical change. So whenever there is a chemical change, physical change will definitely happen. But when something changes physically, it need not be that there is a chemical change in it. I hope this understanding is clear. So now you think about whatever examples come in your mind and comment down below whether it becomes a physical change or a chemical change. But let me give a few thoughts to you, right? What about preparing rice? Will it become a physical change or a chemical change? Initially from rice that you have bought from the shop to the time when you're eating. Is that a chemical change or a physical change? Think about whenever your mother prepares chapatis, is there a physical change or a chemical change? Tearing of paper, physical change or chemical change? Okay, then washing of clothes, physical change, chemical change, the stain that happens on the cloth, physical or chemical. Think about all this, and if you can think about something else, then you can comment down below so that it can be a question for someone else to think. Okay? And till then, if you like this video, if you have understood what is the physical change, chemical change, then please don't forget to hit the like button, the thumbs up button, and subscribe to the channel. There's a subscribe button right over here. Just press that and make it in a grey color. Thank you and stay blessed. Bye-bye.